welcome to Girls Unscripted. My name is Kate.
I'm Carolyn.
On this episode of our Weekly Gab, we are talking about my birthday at SUR and seeing
Brock Davies.
I also went to Jax's Studio City, and I have some stories from that. Carolyn is teaching us all about what the Harvard people do. We are going to be talking a lot about Lindsay and Carl in the Summer House finale. We are talking about some tea that we heard from Billie Lee's podcast. You need to stay tuned for that because it is literally so juicy. It's about her fallout with Tom Sandoval. We go over the Traitors season 3 cast, and then at the very end of the episode we have our thoughts on Vanderpump Rules Secrets Revealed.
Boom, what more could you ask for?
What more could you ask for? So let's get into it. Are you ready to present our guests with our new format?
Are you ready to present our guests with our new format?
Are you ready to receive our new format?
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Thank you. I just got excited. I got amped up because this is our new format of Weekly
Gab. Okay, full transparency. We recorded that already and it wasn't recording and it was really good. And we're like, sometimes when you try to like replicate, like you can't, lightning doesn't strike twice, you know?
It's just, we can't fool you guys. We're not the best actors.
No. The first time was really good. Just trust me. But we did record it on my phone, so maybe we'll post it on our Instagram.
Oh, that's going to be good. That'll be good.
At
Viral as fuck.
Girls Unscripted Pod. Follow us. Well, welcome to Girls Unscripted. My name is Kate.
I'm Carolyn.
And this is our first week of our new format since Vanderpump is over and we're done recapping the new Vanderpump episodes. We asked you guys, you responded, we listened, and we are now officially doing a weekly gab since we've kind of coined the term gabbity gab like unintentionally.
Which actually we should trace back to the TikToker that commented.
How funny.
That comment.
I literally screenshotted the comment. And I was like, I'm going to read the comment that started it all. Literally. I'm not even kidding.
Shout out.
So the user, this is how this all came about. First of all, the username is fucking hilarious. Their username is Kirkland Applesauce. So shout out to Kirkland Applesauce. And they commented on my TikTok. This was when we like first started Girls Unscripted. We were maybe like 3 or 4 episodes in.
We were babies.
And both Carolyn and our producer Rachel was like, I feel like we need to like do more talking in the beginning. And I was like, no one gives a fuck about us. Like who cares about me? I'm a fucking nobody. So we would go right into the episodes, and then Kirkland Applesauce commented, I binged Girls Unscripted yesterday and got deja vu from your TikTok, blah, blah, blah. My only complaint on the pod is that I want more gabbity gab going into it. So I read that on one of our episodes, and we were like, so let's just start gabbity gabbing. And then the comments went wild. People love the gabbity gab.
Couldn't get enough of the gabbity gab.
So now we've made an entire episode of it. But it's not just gabbity gab of us.
No.
It's gabbing about what's going on in reality TV. Because we were like, look, even though Vanderpump is over, there's always going to be shit going on.
They're not dead.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
After what we heard Billie Lee say.
Oh, damn.
Which we're going to tell you guys about. That we have fucking tea.
Yikes.
And there's also like so many other things that we always want to talk about, like Carl and Lindsay, and like
opinions.
other Bravo things and reality things. So that is what this whole episode is about. And we will also talk about the Vanderpump Rules Secrets Revealed in this episode because we haven't talked about that yet.
And we'll do traditional gab up top, and you can fast forward it if you want to.
But don't.
Because we're fucking interesting.
You know, my dad only listens to the gabbity gab. He's like, I don't give a fuck about Vanderpump Rules, but like, I like to know what goes on in your life. He's like, you say more on the gabbity gab than I know about you.
It's so funny. My parents said like a similar note of like, well, we get to see you every week.
Yeah, I'm like, that's kind of nice.
Really cute.
But don't worry, fans, I will not censor myself.
Also horrifying because they are listening. Yeah, exactly. So it makes you double think sometimes.
I'll censor a little bit.
Hey, Dad.
What's your dad's name?
John.
Shout out to John.
Shout out to John. Yours?
Angelo.
Shout
out to Angelo.
Love you
and
guys.
Actually, while I'm at it, shout out to Andrea, my mom, because last week I mentioned that I was, or 2 weeks ago, no, last week, I mentioned I was going to James Taylor with my mom and Randy, her boyfriend. And Randy was happy his name got shouted out. My mom was like, and I'm just mom. So this one's for you, Andrea.
And mom.
And what's your mom's
name?
name?
And my mom, Linda.
Linda, listen.
Hey, Linda. Hey, Mom.
Do you know that video?
No.
Of the little girl going, Linda, listen.
No.
What?
I need to send it to her. If you could send it to me. Thank you.
Rachel, do you know what video I'm talking about? What? Linda, listen? Oh
Linda,
my God, you guys.
I already love it.
You will love it.
I'm already on the train. Speaking of our new format, Weekly Gab, that's a nice segue to what we have potentially decided to name, well, yourself, you watching. And Kate, why don't you take it away?
Well, we've had a bit of disagreement, actually. We're all over the place.
I wouldn't say disagreement. I would say there are options.
There's confusion.
There's confusion. There's chaos.
So it was actually Carolyn's idea, and I think it was a great idea. So we went through a couple of different names for like our listeners. And obviously like a big one was like the girlies. But I don't want to exclude anyone by being like a girl or a girly.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about scripties, which was because we're like girls unscripted. It's kind of like a play on Swifties. But I think I'm particular, but I didn't like that because the point of Girls Unscripted is that we're talking about like unscripted
I agreed
things.
with you. That was,
okay.
I agreed with that.
Okay, I thought maybe I was being a bit too like particular.
No. But I do like testing. I like data.
Yeah. So now she loves data.
Fucking data girl.
So Carolyn had the good idea of like, well, we talk so much about gabbity gab. How about they're like the gabbities? So now we're like, or should you guys be the gabbities or the gabbers?
But our friend Johnny said, or you could be the gabbers. I don't know if y'all talked about that separately.
No. Just everything in the group chat.
Johnny was the one who's like, he mentioned something else, and then gabbers, which caught our ears.
See, I kind of like gabbers because we're all like gabbing about reality TV because like we all do gab together. Like you guys all comment and use like say like your views on stuff. Like we are gabbing.
It's probably better. And then
but gabbity is funny.
Gabbities are fun. And then I was like, well, then what if singular was a gabber and plural you're the gabbities as a whole? But I don't think that's going to stick.
Is it
marketing wise? I don't think it's going to stick.
Just let us know what you think.
Anyway.
Want to know about my birthday?
Catherine, I was so upset that I was not at your birthday, regardless of the fact that it was a Vanderpump Rules orgy. I mean, my God. You ran into everybody. You talked to, like...
I'm sorry, they actually ran into me.
Oh my God. Okay, did you post the video that I had the privilege of seeing of you saying, oh, hi, Brock?
Yeah, I did.
Did you? I laughed so hard. I played it I showed it to Kyle. He was like, this is the best video I've ever seen in my life.
It is so funny.
Nonchalantly, oh, hi, Brock.
I genuinely didn't. Okay, well, let me tell
I wanted
this
to
story.
know. Did you?
I did not know he was fine.
Nope. You didn't?
Nope.
You acted as if you were the first lady.
He's an old friend.
And he was an old friend.
He's my old friend from down under.
You were hosting a dinner party and you just ran into.
Oh, hello, darling. That's actually true. I did go to sound like that. That's cool.
So funny, but I want to hear.
I'm
your
a
side
natural, baby. Yeah, celebrities don't scare me.
Oh, hi, Brock.
Celebrities actually terrify me. So, okay. My birthday was this past Sunday, June 2nd, and it just so happened to fall on West Hollywood Pride. So I decided that I was going to do my birthday at Pride because I'm like, all right, everyone's going to be there. There's going to be bars and dancing and parties. Like, it's just easy. But I had a big group. Carolyn couldn't be there because she was still in Boston, as we know. I was like, what could accommodate a big group that would be fun? I was like, fuck it, like, maybe I just go to Sir. I'm a kind of a sentimental person, if you couldn't tell by every episode. I'm like, thank you guys so much. I love you so much.
We have to pick her up off the floor
every
time. I
like to reflect, and I was doing a lot of reflecting on my last year, and like it was like when I really started to like get into TikTok, and we started doing this podcast, and I started doing things that were creative and brought me joy, and I was like, it's kind of fitting if I just go to Sir to like celebrate my birthday. Let me just do it. I'm not doing it to like see if I see anyone, you know? So I went, and it was also fun because a lot of my friends don't watch the show, so it was like a fun way to like force them to go. We had a huge table in one of the back rooms, and it was fun. The food was like fine. We were like ordering.
Everyone got one goat cheese.
We got one singular. Literally, we had a prefix menu, and the top said goat cheese ball, and we all got one.
That's what they have a chokehold on.
But I gotta be honest,
stingy on it.
They are so
They're
good.
Yeah, I've had one. Yeah,
like literally so good, but everything else was fine. You don't go there for
you go there for the experience.
You go there to take your mistress.
You go there for, oh, hi, Brock.
Yeah. So, okay. We're really teasing them along this story. We were having a fun time, yada, yada, whatever. I went to the bathroom. And as I'm coming back from the bathroom, everyone at the table is like staring at me, and they're there with like a sparkler and like just waiting for me. I guess they like presented this stuff like when I wasn't there. So I already was kind of like frazzled. So I like ran to the table and sat down. I hate when people sing to me, and I should have known I had my birthday at a fucking restaurant. So I sat and everyone was singing to me, and I just kind of like, okay, and I was like, thank you. Like I just was like, I have anxiety. Anyways, so then one of our friends was like, so Brock comes out of the back, is singing, and one of our friends is like, go, her name's Kate, like go say hi to her or whatever. So I feel this, first of all, biggest, meatiest hand. Literally, I thought it was like fucking Godzilla.
His hands were hams.
It was like on my shoulder, and I just look, and he's like, happy birthday, Kate. And I was just like, oh, hi, Brock. And literally, that is how I said it.
Oh, hi, Brock.
Because like, what am I supposed to say? Am I supposed to be like, oh my God, oh my God.
I think that's what he was expecting, because he was like, that's fucking awesome. He said something like that because it was really funny.
Look, and I posted this video on TikTok, and all the comments were like, oh, he just like wants to be seen, blah blah blah.
What?
But you know what, I'm going to Sir for my birthday. I obviously watched the show. Like, I thought it was.
That makes me sad.
I thought it was very kind that he came.
I hope the Gabbities weren't saying that.
Well, some TikTokers. I don't know what they are.
Okay.
They just, it's free for all on TikTok.
It is a free.
Well, actually, I think there were some gabbers.
Gabbers.
Or gabbities.
We'll try
Yeah,
it out.
we'll
This
interchange
is the
them.
data I love.
Because there were some comments on the TikTok of like, wow, I can't believe. It made me rethink a lot. They said, I can't believe he came up and said hi to you after all the shit you talk about him and his girlfriend on your podcast, or him and his wife.
The fuck up.
So that was a thought I had. So
fuck up.
Sheena was there, and all my friends were like, oh my God, Sheena's here. You need to go and take a photo.
You can't.
They were like, go and take a photo with her. And I'm like,
we're no longer apologists.
I actually,
It'd be treason.
yeah, it would literally be treason. I'd be crossing battle lines. I'm like, I looked at them. I'm like, guys, I actually physically can't say hi to her. And I was like, and please do not tell her to come over here, because she might actually know my face. And look, I don't think you and I.
She totally does.
She might. I mean, she's all in the comments.
She's all on the phone.
I don't think you and I actually talk that negatively. I think we just are opinionated on them, and like
we try hard not to be mean girls.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're not like shit talking, but we just are kind of like,
this is what we think about the situation.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not going to be a fucking fake ass and be like, oh my God, Sheena, I love you. Can I get a picture? After I don't really speak that nicely about her.
We formally renounced that we are not Sheena apologists. We're no longer Sheena apologists.
We wrote a letter into the government and told them we're done.
We sealed it with
down,
wax.
yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, Brock didn't know that, but yeah, a lot of the comments were like, wow, like you talk so much shit on Sheena. I'm like, look, I don't think I talk that much shit on Sheena. Let's be real.
Oh, interesting.
I think a lot of the clips, though, that have been on TikTok maybe are about her.
Well, they get a lot of views.
They do get a lot of views.
They
That's
get
the
a lot.
shitty thing
That's
about
the
this
shitty
world.
thing about this.
People
It's
love
such
when
a
you talk shit.
dark world.
But yeah, so that happened. Brock was really nice. He was like, he literally was like, I can't believe you have this many friends. Like, because I had like 17 people. And I just was like, because a lot of people were asking what we talked about. And he was like, I can't believe you have this many friends. It's awesome. I was like, well, honestly, like, I think you have a lot of friends for not being from this country. And he's like,
Nice.
yeah, that's a good point. And then he complimented Dan's shirt. And that's when I was like, oh, this is my
This is
boyfriend,
my boyfriend,
Dan.
Dan.
I thought we were, and then even Dan was actually the one that was like, he had the biggest hands I've ever seen. He is like a big guy, but you know what? Really handsome. But he was wearing like those pink ruffly pants. Have you ever seen those?
Pink ruffly pants.
He's worn them before. He looks like Lil Bo Peep. It's not a good look.
Oh, well, now I can see it. Waist up, as Tom Sandoval would say.
So I will say, Sir was a 10 out of 10 time.
Oh, it looks so
Oh, wait,
fun.
I missed your thing. Would you just say waist up was Tom Sandoval?
Remember, he was always be like, I don't know, waist down. It's one of his sex
Oh,
jokes.
yeah. From the. I don't understand
good.
him.
It's good.
So
keep it rolling.
I will say Sir was 10 out of 10, super fun. I mean, they always throw big pride parties. The thing about Sir is like, it is a little cringe because it is all fans. Like when Sheena walked in, you would swear it was fucking Harry Styles, like the way that people were like swarming her and screaming and whatever. But that's why you go to Sir. It's like, that's why you go. Okay.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
give her shit for being there. Like, that's what Sir is.
Yeah.
We saw Guillermo. Guillermo was super nice. Peter, like, everyone, obviously, they're always there.
There's a scavenger hunt, and your
yeah.
friend took a picture with Guillermo. I had no idea who he was.
So we did. Okay, here's a little tip for everyone. If you ever are having like a birthday party, like out and about, and like want to like spice it up, just make a little scavenger hunt of like, take a photo with the DJ, you know,
You're never too old for it.
steal a stranger's hat.
It's still so fun.
It's so fun. Actually, the first time I did it was with you and producer Rachel for her birthday, and I totally copied it. It was so much fun. So one of the things on the scavenger hunt was steal a stranger's hat, and my friend Liz literally is like, oh, I'm just gonna go steal that guy's hat, and runs up, takes his hat off his head, puts it on her, and she's like, I have to take a selfie for the scavenger hunt, and it was Guillermo. And she comes back to the table and she's like, yeah, I just took that random guy's. I'm like, that random guy owns the fucking restaurant. Be fucking cool. Okay, so then we went to Sir. It was super fun. After Sir, we walked to the Abbey, and in between the Abbey and Sir was Something About Her. The line was down the block. We saw Terry Maloney working, super cute. Hung out at the Abbey, whatever, it was fine. That's where Allie first discovered James and Raquel together, if you remember. Anyways,
That's where a lot of stuff has happened.
a lot of things we can't legally talk about.
No.
Roofies.
Yeah, but actually, it's a dark hole if you want to go down.
There was literally a sign that was like,
Nuh-uh.
watch your drink. Yeah, Dan pointed it out to me.
Shit.
Yeah, it's scary. Why do we keep going there?
Yeah.
They play great music.
It is fun.
It's fucked up. Anyways, so then the crazy tea. So we know that they moved the pump sign over to Tom Tom. That was talked about in the show. So it was like, it would say like pump and Tom Tom. Well, on Pride, they put rainbow flags covering the Tom Tom. So it just said pump. So it looked like Tom Tom was now pump.
I knew Lisa had.
It was
there's no
shady.
Way, there's no way she just put a gate with the word pump on another bar and said, oh, that's just where we're putting it for now.
Yeah. And it's still there. It's like fully pump. So I don't know. I didn't go in like, I don't know if maybe like, because pump was like the Pride restaurant and Tom Tom really wasn't. So maybe it was just like an ode to that. I don't know.
No.
But it did seem a little shady.
It was all covered up with
was
Pride stuff.
All covered. Like, yeah, but not, yeah, like you couldn't even see that it said Tom Tom.
Yeah.
It was very intentional. There were other places they could have hung those flags.
It seemed suspicious when
Yeah.
Lisa was like, I don't know, we just put the gate there.
Yeah.
That was a horrible Lisa impression, but you know what I mean.
It wasn't the worst.
I've had worse, and people have called me out on it.
And then we went to the old pump that has been now bought by a new restaurant. It's under construction, and they turned it into a bar that is like construction themed. So there's like
You said that was so cool.
It was so sick, dude. Like there was caution tape everywhere. The dancers were wearing like orange like vests and shit. And
So
and it
fun.
was literally just pump without the table. So it saw like the center bar, all the beautiful trees, and it was just a giant
construction zone
construction zone dance floor.
in like a hottie dance bar.
It was so good. It was cute. It was fun.
That is so fun.
Horrible bathroom situation. Horrible bathroom situation at Sir too, by the way. Like there's only like 3 bathrooms, and they're all like single bathrooms. Like the lines at both. That is something Lisa Vanderpump needs to work on. Tom Tom, they have a good bathroom situation. They've got stalls. It's fine. But Pump and Sir is single bathrooms, and I'm just not about it. Okay? So
She's upset.
I hope that the Wolf in Lake Tahoe has a better bathroom situation.
Are your ears hot?
I'm not that mad.
Yeah. Okay. We were getting there. So.
I know I'm like talking a lot, but I've had a lot of Vanderpump related things.
Oh my God. No, you had all this happen this past weekend. Like, I'm so upset that I wasn't there.
Well, I also went to Jax's last night against my will.
Oh, wait. And you saw Jesse from the Valley at Pump.
So I didn't see him. My friends saw him and they like took a picture of him. But then I saw Jesse from the Valley at Jax's last night.
Oh my God. So what happened at Jax's?
So I went to Jax's. I say against my will because the last time I was there, I took that video of him saying the whole thing was scripted, and then he blocked me on Instagram.
Did you see Lala in the latest episodes?
Yes, I made a note about that. She says, she messes up her line, and she says something like, wow, I hope Jax calls this scripted again. I can't even remember one line. I'm like, is she referring to my video?
She says, yeah, I hope Jax calls this calls our show scripted one more time.
Literally still my most infamous video that I was not in, which I wish I would have at the very end been like follow me, Kate Riccio. So like I feel like because I was blocked by Jax, I almost felt like I was kicked out of Jax's Studio City. Like again, I feel like since I make TikToks and have a podcast about these people, it is a little stalkerish going to those places. That is how I feel. I know a lot of other like creators don't feel that way, but like that's why I was like, I don't want a picture with Sheena. Like I don't want to like have my life just be like talking about these people and then finding them at their place and like, can I have a picture with you? Like I just feel like that's like weird stalker like #1 fan shit. No offense to people that do
but
that. It's just not for me.
What like makes this podcast interesting is like we're like how do I say this? You're a part of that scene without trying to be. You know, like you just we naturally go to the bars they go to. We naturally know what they're doing.
My one friend did say, and I think it's a good way of like we are on the fringe of the group. Like so, like last night I actually went to Jax's because this other TikToker who a lot of the Vanderpump TikTokers be like will support each other and comment on each other's stuff, and it's cute. I mean, we're all doing the same thing. Yeah. And she DM'd me and was like, we should grab drinks. We're both in LA. And I'm like, sure. Aww. So I was like meeting an internet friend in real life.
That's so IRL.
And she was super sweet. Her name is Connections Queen.
Love it.
I literally was like, can you tell me your real name? Because for the longest time, it was just like drinks with Connections Queen in my calendar.
That's like a blind date.
It was kind of like a blind date. But I showed up and it was just like a table of like a bunch of people that are all just like reality fans and just were there to talk about. Like they all like kind of knew. I was like, how do you guys know each other? And she's like, oh, I'm in a group text with these people on Instagram. And I'm like, I still can't figure out like how they knew each other, but they were all very cool. And we had a nice little conversation, but like, you guys don't get it. Like I cannot make eye contact with Jax. I sat with my back to them the whole time. Like I felt weird being there.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm blocked.
Again, in enemy territory.
But Jesse was there. He brought his girlfriend.
Was she cute?
She's cute. She's very LA.
Okay.
Brown tight bodysuit, long blonde hair. Danny was there.
Oh.
So short.
I'm not surprised by that.
Like shockingly short.
How? I mean, 5 feet?
I think shorter than me. So, and I'm 5'5". I would say maybe he's 5'5". Maybe he's 5'5".
How tall
maybe he's
is
5'6". Well, definitely taller than him.
Wow.
Because I've noticed that on the show. Not that that's a bad thing. It just was like... It was just a bit shocking to me. Like everyone I was with was like, wow, Jesse's so short. Jesse to me felt average height. He was also dressed to the fucking nines in a plaid suit.
Right.
Danny was short, but
how does he do to go to a sports bar?
Jax was just kind of like at his little table, like talking to his people. Jesse and Danny were like making the fucking rounds, like going up to tables, talking to people, taking pictures. It was kind of cute.
That's so cute. I bet they're really excited.
Well, because they know what they're walking into. It's the Valley finale at Jax's. Like, let's be fucking real here. There was a hired photographer that was taking photos of everything. Jax was in like a full suit.
Was Brittany there?
So Brittany wasn't there, but I think she showed up at the end, which I think is weird. Like, imagine what I left early. So basically...
The end is like their big moment.
My issue with Jax's is it's so fucking loud. Like they play the show and they play the commercials and you can't even hear like I couldn't hear myself think, and I need to take notes because we recap it. I didn't stay for the show. I just went to like meet my internet friends. She wasn't there, but yeah, how weird would it be to like watch that whole final scene?
Like, honey, let's sit down and watch, or not honey,
well, and then
honey.
And then everyone's like, yeah, fuck yeah, Brittany, like girl power. But then she walks into Jax's.
But it is so weird. The whole situation isn't conventional.
But they did try, which we'll talk about this in our Valley recap. Stay tuned next episode. They do kind of make it seem more Brittany's bar than Jax's bar.
Well, in the Valley, yeah. Because she put the shit together.
Yeah. So we'll see. But guess what?
What?
So as I was leaving, Johnny Bananas walked in.
Stop. Are you serious?
Yeah. And you know, I've been to Jax's 3 times, and 2 of those times Johnny Bananas was there.
Well, I'm going to Jax's now.
Well, because the first time was for the House of Villains premiere. And that,
I forgot that
they were on that together. So that made sense for him to be there. And I was there with our friend Sydney, who is a published author for a book about the challenge called How to Win at the Challenge and Life.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Plug, not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Could be. Sydney. Give us a call.
Text us.
Give us a call. So she introduced me to Johnny, and I literally, like, he shook my hand, and that was the first time I was like, Johnny Banana shook my hand. Like, I was like, oh my God.
Okay, questions. Was he short?
He wasn't tall, Definitely under 6 foot. But
were you charmed?
so here's the thing. I was. I could see his appeal, but last night, so when I saw him for House of Villains, he was in like a full suit, hair slicked back. It was like very much like how he was on House of Villains. Last night, way chiller vibe, had like a nice outfit, longish hair, curly.
Nice.
Like I was like hot.
Kate,
Problematic.
No, I know it's problematic for me. He's controversial. He's always been my number one.
No, he's
on
not.
the challenge.
And I'm currently on Rivals 3, which I know what
you're working your way through it.
Dude, I'm ripping through this show. But
it's amazing.
I know what happens at the end of the challenge Rivals 3.
I can't remember which one that was.
Okay, spoiler alert for people who don't watch the challenge. It's the one where he takes all the money and leaves Sarah with nothing.
I still fight about this with my husband to this day.
Like, I haven't gotten to there yet, but I know that's what happens.
Kyle says she deserved it. I say, what the fuck is wrong with you?
So where I'm at,
You're a horrible monster.
And sorry for people who don't watch the challenge, but I'm telling you, I was never about the challenge. It is so good.
It's the best show on TV.
It is the perfect mix of like reality TV drama and hookups and whatever, but also competition and politics. Like, it's so good.
Especially where you are right now.
Yeah,
it does change.
So here's a tip. I started with Fresh Meat 1.
I say go back as early as you can. It makes you just appreciate it so much more. Where you see where this came from, like a trailer filled with degenerates playing games with each other.
Oh, see, I don't even know.
Into
maybe
like
I'll go back.
What it is now is ridiculous. Let us know if you're interested in the challenge because we can gab this for a while.
Yeah, if we have challenge fans, let us know.
Also, this is good for us. This is the first episode, so we're getting kinks out of like if something does come up, do we talk about it? Do we not? We're figuring it out.
If you guys haven't caught on by now, like, we do listen to feedback. Like, genuinely. Like, if you comment.
Probably too much.
If you comment something and say, like, you do or don't like it, like, we will change because, like, we're all in this together.
We're the gabbers. It did sound nice there when I said it.
It did. It had a kind of a nice roll off the tongue. Instead of we're the gabbities.
I kind of do like gabbers. Fuck. We're the gabbers. Anyway. Where were we?
Okay, I want to talk quickly about...
Do I get gabbity?
I'm sorry.
It's okay, because I don't really have any.
No.
This
is our first fight. No, that was really extremely self-centered of me and selfish, and acting like this entire world revolves around me.
No, it's okay, and I actually think it's for the better, because I don't have anything to talk about.
But you did have something, because we said we were going to save it for the thing.
But it's only funny if it naturally comes up, and now I think it's
Well, now I don't know what to do.
Now we're stuck. I think we save it for another date. I think we save it. No, Cass.
I'm banging my head on the microphone.
No, stop. Not again. Not again.
I do this in private all the time.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Okay, but was Harvard fun? Just tell me that.
Harvard was fine. Look, okay, I'll show you what I was going to tell you. Harvard, I went to, my husband went to Harvard Business School. Oh, hell yeah. And they had their, 5-year reunion. And it's every reunion. I don't know if you've gone to a reunion with a significant other.
No.
It's so much small talk that it makes you want to kind of like pull your brains out through your ears with like a knitting needle.
Ooh,
well, let me show
graphic.
you. I was going to show you what we were talking about on the phone earlier with Kyle. This is very Harvard of them. They have a matrix. They have a framework for social gatherings. It's a 2x2.
Okay, first of all, that's the most fucking Harvard shit I've ever heard.
I know. This is why I need a piece of paper. So it's like a 2x2. So it's a it's a graph like this.
Okay, if you are listening, she made 4 squares. There's 4 squares.
There's 4 squares. On the x-axis here, you have small and you have big. Okay, small and big. Okay. On the y-axis, we have dancy and chatty.
Okay. I'm following.
Social events fall into one of these 4 categories. So when you're thinking about when to go out at night, consider, is it a small dancy? Those are the best. When you're out with your 6 girlfriends, you're on the dance floor and you're having a blast. Is it a big dancy? You're at a wedding, it's a lot of dancing people. Where you must never go and avoid at all costs is a large chatty. Large chatties are very difficult. They're very draining.
Sounds like social anxiety to the max
it's
at a large
social anxiety
chatty.
to the max. And I'll tell you, I mean, I loved going to Harvard. Everyone there is so nice and very, very intelligent. If I have to talk about when my flight is arriving or departing again, I will die. Do you know at weddings when it's like you meet people you don't know, the first thing you ask for some reason is, when did you get in?
Yeah.
Why do we keep, doesn't matter. You don't know anything about me, and all you want to know is if my plane landed on a Wednesday.
And then you answer, and it's like, oh, cool.
Nowhere to go
Yeah,
from
that's a good point. It's a good
that
point.
a lot of the times, and that was the matrix I wanted you to show. You're welcome to use it, world. Thank you very much. I credit my husband, Kyle Emery. His friend Chloe also had some credit.
I have a question for the Harvard people that are listening.
Yeah. When I told them about this podcast, I was like, yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, it's
So,
like,
I
what
mean,
do you
it's
do?
One thing I do.
You know, I do heart transplants in children. What do you do? Have you heard of Vanderpump Rules?
I literally said that so many times. Like, do you watch the show Vanderpump Rules?
Like, I've heard of it on the CNN homepage.
No one watched it. Not a single one. I'm trying to think. Did any single person watch it? Alicia's cool as hell. She's in Santa Monica.
Okay, well, here's my question, though. And this is something maybe Harvard people don't really happen to them that often. There's dancey. There's chatty. What about games?
Well, that's...
I've been to plenty of social events where it's just drinking games and we're going to play ping pong or we're in an arcade.
What's a large gamey? Like, is there such a thing? Is that like I'm imagining a big bingo room.
It's funny because I'm imagining like a beer Olympic or a Survivor drinking game. But you know what? That's niche.
And a small game. And there is a scale, right? Like, you know, from small to large. There's not a strict cutoff. Is it 10? Is it 11?
That's fair.
You know,
but I like that chart.
We can talk about this for a long time. Bring it up with your friends. You're welcome. Or I'm sorry. It's one of the two.
No, I love it.
Okay, that's all I had.
Okay, so one piece of reality that we never get to talk about is that people have been asking us to talk about is Summer House.
Yay! Okay, I'm so excited to talk about it.
So basically, we just saw the Summer House finale, and we finally saw the big conversation that happened between Carl and Lindsay.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
On a count of 3, can we reveal what team we're on?
But the thing is I actually don't know.
You have to pick. Just for the exercise. This is good for you.
Okay.
We'll go 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Name.
1, 2, 3.
Carl.
Lindsay.
Ah!
Oh, it pains me to say I'm Team Lindsay. Here's the thing. I think that Lindsay was a bad partner. I think everything Carl is saying is right. But I think the way he went about everything was incredibly immature, and he didn't need to publicly humiliate her like that. But I understand why he picked cameras back up, because like he didn't want her to twist it. Mm-hmm. But I do genuinely think that she was blindsided.
I believe she was blindsided. I agree. Look, I say I'm Team Carl. I'm Team Carl in that for the most of their arguments that I witnessed, I felt like he had his moments. Neither were perfect. Okay.
Right.
Obviously, everyone's glad that they're no longer together. But I will think Carl tried. Like, I think he tried for healthy communication. He obviously failed on some things. But for the most part, I think he really, really wanted to make this work. And I think Lindsay did too, but I just felt a little less, I don't know. I felt Carl when he said, I don't know, he got a lot of heat for this. I'm probably going to get a lot of heat for this. When he said, if she would have met him where he was, of like, I hear you, understand you, she never just gave those words. You know, she never just said the simple things. And that's an easy thing to give your partner, is like, I'm meeting you where you are.
Yeah.
And let's figure this next step out together. I felt like Carl was willing to do that and she wasn't.
I think my theory is what happened is that, you watch Winter House, right?
Of course.
So on season 2 of Winter House, Carl and Lindsay visit, and Carl has just gotten sober, I believe, and Lindsay is like sober with him, and they're great.
Yep.
Everything's great between them. So my theory is that when Carl first got sober, which first of all, I feel like you're not like supposed to date, like when you're like, well, he didn't go to rehab.
It's a very vulnerable and crazy time, volatile time.
But my theory is that he first got sober, and Lindsay was very supportive of him. She always was, like as a friend and whatever. So she was like, I'll do this with you. And they were great. Mm-hmm. But she wasn't being her authentic self. She changed herself to appease what he needed at the time. Mm-hmm. And I feel like in her mind, not saying this was right, but in her mind, she gave him all this time and did everything for him to help him, that she felt like what she needed in return, like, was a man who is now ready to go out and work and be a breadwinner and do this and do that and like match her because she matched him in the beginning, which isn't fair of her to expect, I don't think. But I think she thought, I matched Carl when he first became sober.
Interesting. I didn't think about it like that.
Now I need him to match me, and he just won't. He just wants to be like what I'm pretty sure he said. She called him like a little bitch boy. Go run to your mama, which I believe she said that.
Yeah.
Which isn't okay. Is not okay. They're both gaslighting each other.
Yeah.
I think that he's just as wrong for staying with her and making it seem like there was ever a chance of them even being together, because I think he had his mind made up all summer.
Oh, I know. I totally disagree.
Really?
I think he wanted to make this work like badly.
Who in their right fucking mind, though, I feel you, but would want to make that work with someone who's constantly questioning your fucking sobriety?
Because you've never been married. If I were in that situation and it were 2 months before my wedding, I would have a fucking panic attack. To call off a wedding is a huge thing to do. And you don't know if, okay, is this just bumpy because we're in a stressful time right now, which is understandable because, you know, we've had a lot of fights this summer and the wedding's coming up. Is it just something that's going to pass?
Fair.
Or is it something that we can work through? And is this my forever? If it's my fucking forever, then I don't want to do it. But maybe it's not my forever. Maybe it's just right now. Like, it's a crazy time.
Right.
And I think that's why it went on as long as it did. Because I think he wanted to make it work. I think he went to the bridal shower to support her. And I think he wanted to be a good partner. I think he wanted to be a good partner.
Like, he just had enough.
And come up, and he was trying his best to do it and putting on the smile despite everything. I think he finally cracked.
Yeah.
And I do think that he messed up too. I mean, I do think there are some things of, okay, she would have likely spun the breakup without cameras there. I still don't think that's a good enough reason to film it. I still think he shouldn't have brought cameras up for that, because regardless, that is a private moment that they should have privately forever for anyone that's losing their fiance.
Well, and you know what I found to be ironic is, like, while they were like filming that scene, one of the big point of contentions that Carl was talking about is like, you tried to record one of our fights. Remember when you said, I'm going to record this? And then he literally recorded breaking up with her. Like, he literally did the same thing. He brought a fucking camera crew to dump her on camera, and he didn't want their argument recorded.
Well, did you watch the after show?
No.
Okay. There's more context to this, and this also doesn't bode well for Carl. So the more I'm talking, the more I'm less team Carl. I'm team neither of them. No,
here's the thing, Carolyn. We are actually both being gaslit by both of them, because the fact that, like, I don't know whose team I'm on, I'm like, am I fucking crazy?
Yeah, it is. It was toxic as fuck. But in the after show, he says, I swear to God, I remembered it, that she called it off, or something to that effect of, he doesn't remember it coming out of his mouth that he's the one that directly did it.
I think he just said, I'm not ready to get married
and
now.
He's like, I swear to God, in my mind, I didn't think I said it. And she almost said it more so than I did. So I just thought it was done. But then looking back, he was like, obviously I said it. So
yeah, look, the whole thing's a mess.
It's a giant mess. And looking back at like BravoCon clips of them, like just directly afterwards, I don't know. I feel like Carl has done his best to like remain respectful. I don't think he's badmouthed Lindsay as much as she has been badmouthing him.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't know. I feel like I'm going to get torn apart.
No. I think a lot of people are torn. My final question about this whole thing is, it's more of a statement, but like how Lindsay is acting is not like new to us. Like, she's always been fierce and argumentative and defensive and loud and bold and big, and like, she's always been this way. Carl, this is the first time we've really seen him like raise his voice and yell, like all this stuff he's kind of doing on camera. I'm wondering if Carl is typically different off camera than on camera.
That's a good point. And there were some things said that make us think that might be the case, actually. I forget exactly what she said, but it made me think, oh, he has a dark side.
Right.
He has a dark side. Well, she said that. I think she literally said, like, he has a dark side. But I think she was referring to him on drugs.
She did say that. You're right. I don't know.
And with the snippets, as Brittany would say, mean as a snake. Some of the things we did see him say were so pointed and mean, just mean things to say, that I can see if like, oh, that was on camera. As I always say, it's always way worse off camera than on camera.
I agree.
But that goes for Lindsay too. It's way worse off camera for Lindsay than on camera. I think she's more herself on camera, but I still think when cameras are down, it's a different story.
I don't think we see the good parts of Lindsay on camera because I think the editors just edit all the bad things.
That is true. She probably gets a bad edit. But we've seen so much footage of her at this point that like,
I know, we know her. Well, that's what she keeps saying to Carl. Like, you fucking knew me.
You knew this, and that is true.
Okay, real quick. Right when Carolyn showed up, I had just started watching this reel, and I was like, oh my God, I'm pausing this. We're going to watch it together. It was a clip from Billie Lee's podcast talking about Tom Sandoval and his girlfriend, Victoria. It was crazy.
Crazy.
And if you don't know, I think Billie Lee unfollowed both of them. She's been unfollowing them for a while. And basically what she was saying is like...
She was basically saying that Victoria and Tom were fighting all the time. And Tom was sober after Rachel, but he started drinking again with Victoria Lee, and that it kind of turned into a darker spiral.
And doing drugs.
And that there were a lot of drugs in the house, and it was messy, and it just was a darker time. And they would fight all the time, and it sounded very toxic. It sounded like she would FaceTime Billie Lee, and Billie Lee would be in the middle of it.
Well, because she would FaceTime Billie Lee and like act like her and Billie were like besties. Like they would do things just the two of them.
Yeah.
Like she would call her all the time. Like Billie was like, she basically was acting like she was one of my good friends. And like I did like her, but like she would like shower me with gifts and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then Billie was like, I kind of stopped hanging out with Tom one-on-one. And then one night Tom was like, come over, I miss you, let's watch a movie, blah, blah, blah. So Billie Lee went over to Tom's and they like watched a movie, and it was just the two of them. And Victoria was calling Tom. Finally, Tom answered it, went upstairs, talked to her, came back down, looks at Billie and goes, she thinks that we're going to sleep together. Mm-hmm. Which to me makes me think that they have in the past.
That was I was thinking too.
Like it's further proof.
I thought it's so, I mean, like I think it's undeniable. But also important to note
say your favorite part.
Entire thing, Joe My Gosh is sitting also on this podcast. Why? We don't know. And she starts crying. She's crying at the podcast table. They go, are you crying? And I think she says something. You got to go watch it for yourself.
She just randomly starts crying while Billie Lee's telling the story.
Because she's so upset at the situation. What?
Sheesh.
So Tom is back doing drugs. He fights all the time with Victoria Lee. It's kind of confirmation that he and Billie Lee have likely hooked up at some point. And Joe is crying. What is happening?
Well, and
here?
I guess Tom is still with Victoria, and that's why he and Billie Lee like don't follow each other. And and Billie Lee even said in the thing, like, I don't regret being there for Tom, like after Sandoval. Like, I am someone who I want to be there for my friends, but I lost a ton of friends sticking up for him and being by his side. And now like he's just not in my life anymore. And I believe her.
This was the most I'm not related. This is the most I liked her.
It's just it's a believable story. It's a very believable story.
Oh, and also juicy as fuck because she said on a podcast.
Yeah, I may
spill it, Billie.
I may need to listen to that one on the way home.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to talk about before we get into the Vanderpump Rules Secrets Revealed is the Traitors season 3 cast has been announced. There are some people on who I don't really know as per usual. Bob Harper from The Biggest Loser. Carolyn Weiger from Survivor. Do you know who Weiger?
I didn't know there was another Carolyn.
She was on a couple seasons ago. She had all the tattoos. She was super quirky.
She was on Traitors a couple seasons?
No, Survivor.
I don't watch Survivor.
Oh, you don't watch Survivor?
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
Carolyn.
We don't have that.
I hope she wins it all.
Yeah.
Brittany Hayes from Big Brother. Bob the Drag Queen from RuPaul's Drag Race. Danielle Reyes from Big Brother. Gabby Winfrey from The Bachelorette.
Love her.
See, I don't really know a lot of these names. Oh, Gabby Windy. I'm going to fuck up all these names.
I was going to say, I didn't think that was her last name.
Yeah, whatever. Bear with me because now we've got some Real Housewives.
She's so funny.
She's funny on TikTok. Chanel Ian, Real Housewives of Dubai.
Oh.
Sierra from Summer House, which I think is an interesting. I'm excited to see her without Paige and Amanda. We'll see how she does. Dolores Catania from Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Also, same sentiment.
Dorinda Medley from Real Housewives of New York.
Bomb. That's amazing. That's good.
Zac Efron's brother, Dylan Efron.
I was like, oh my God, if Zac Efron played in this.
That actually would have been sick. No, his brother, Dylan, Jeremy Collins from Survivor.
Does his brother do anything? Is he just known for being the brother?
I think he was on the show Down to Earth with Zac Efron, which I didn't watch.
Okay.
Jeremy Collins from Survivor. British Royal Lord Ivar Mountbatten.
It's because they did that last time and it was awesome.
Yeah, he was awesome. What was the guy's name last time?
I don't even remember, but he was hilarious.
I don't remember either, but I loved him. Nikki Garcia, the like Total Bellas, Nikki and Brie Bella.
I don't know them.
The twin girls.
No.
You ever watch Total Bellas on E?
No.
Oh, I think she was married to John Cena.
Oh, the wrestler girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Boston Rob from Survivor. Robin Dixon from Real Housewives of Potomac.
Another interesting one.
Tony Vlachos from Survivor. And Wells Adams from The Bachelorette.
Hell yeah. Oh, he's going to be so good.
Every year I'm like, the fucking Traitors cast is so random. How is this ever going to work? And it works.
And then it always works.
All right, let's get into our quick recap of, it has to be quick because we were gabbing. I think you and I both don't have many notes. Just little thoughts that we thought as we were watching. The first thing I have is, to me, just one part I thought was interesting was that Tom Sandoval didn't want to talk about Ariana on camera while Ariana was home because he didn't want him to hear her. And I was like...
Which is stupid because she's going to hear it. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, I was like, I think I appreciate that. But you're right, duh. She's just gonna watch it.
She's gonna watch it eventually. But
you're right. I was seeing the good in him for a second where I was like, that's nice. He doesn't want to talk shit while she's home. But you're right. She can fucking watch it on the TV screen.
Well, I also think they were having issues of her overhearing stuff and him overhearing her and them getting in kind of like arguments via Ann about stuff.
Oh,
that's why they had the noise machine. Remember, that's why they had the noise machine? Because they were hearing stuff. So I think it was more Tom served than being nice guy. Maybe. Let's see in my really complex notes here. The stretch lab was probably like $50. Here's what kills me in reality TV. To get one plot point across, they have to like be doing something.
It's so annoying.
It's so stupid. So they do the dumbest shit. A stretch lab?
Well, that's like when Stassi got her like vagina bedazzled with Tom Schwartz just so they could have a conversation. I'm like, this is the weirdest.
But they're getting very creative in like what they're doing these days.
I was like, you know what? A stretch lab sounds kind of cool.
Tom offering cum, I thought was on par, and that Andy would laugh his little ass off. I bet he was in the editing room like, keep that.
Yeah.
Keep it. No, you got to keep it.
Oh, I know. He's such good at it. There was a scene between Tom and Joe where they're drinking salad dressing. I will say it's kind of...
Oh, God.
It's weird to watch Tom and Joe scenes knowing what we know now. Like, he went on podcast and just revealed that, like, basically, for lack of a better word, that, like, she is batshit crazy.
Yeah.
He, like, brought her home to Minnesota, and her sister, like... Did you ever hear this?
No.
Like, her sister spent, like, 2 nights with her and, like, said to Tom, like, I'm so sorry I tried to put her on you, like... Because she apparently Tom and Tom's sister and Joe were like super tight, and Tom went on Brittany's podcast and was like, Brittany Cartwright, and was like, I need to like get my side of the story out there because she's talking a lot about me, and I'm gonna try to do this in the most diplomatic way possible. But like, she told my family some things that like I can never forgive. She told lies about me. My sister spent 2 nights with her and said she was traumatized, had to block her on everything. Like, it essentially just sounded like Joe turned on them.
Kristen's best friend is cuckoo. That's crazy.
What a surprise. You don't say.
So nuts.
So it's weird just like watching them together, like knowing what I know now.
I will say I did love their love for Olive Garden.
Yeah.
That was pretty great.
Olive Garden, Pizza Hut. I could be in this friend group easily. I wonder if like they really give boxes of breadsticks like that.
I wonder if it was like a PR thing or if they bought a box of pizza sticks like that.
I don't know, but I wanted some too, but I'm gluten-free now.
Yeah, shit.
Sorry, I haven't followed up on that. I'm continuing my gluten-free lifestyle.
I have no comment.
And that's that.
Does it help your tummy?
I haven't had a big stomach ache since I became gluten-free, but I don't know if there's really a correlation there.
Correlation does not equal causation.
I thought it was hilarious that James's American persona, Hunter, is from North Philadelphia. And by that comment alone, I know for a fact James has never been to North Philadelphia. Because I went to college in North Philadelphia, and let me tell you, American men named Hunter don't live in North Philadelphia. Trust me.
I lolled at Hunter. I wrote here.
It was funny.
Hunter
I love
dead.
it when James does an American accent, and Brittany.
Yeah.
I guess just the last thing that I want to say is I wish they would have shown more scenes like them going into Sheena's house after the beach, because it was just all of them like laughing and actually having fun and being like, I don't know, like actual friends.
I do think there were like 3 LOLs from me in this episode, which is 3 more than any other episode of this season.
Right, like they really leaned into the drama where it's like I wish they would have leaned more into like more of the fun stuff.
A little bit of the fun. You know who brings the fun?
Who brings the
Brock.
fun? Brock kind of does bring the fun.
He brings a lot of fun.
My new bestie.
Yeah.
Oh, and they did first of all, also I want to say, because I talked a lot of shit on Girls Unscripted about their 1920s themed night in San Francisco.
We didn't know.
We didn't know it was a murder mystery.
I
was
party.
like, they're the only people at this bar dressed like this. This is so weird. Like the bar isn't even themed 1920s. They left out a major plot point of the murder mystery.
Which is fun as hell.
I did a murder mystery one time and it was like country themed. And we like all lived in like a small town. And I was the town reality star. That was my role. I was like, I got this in the bag.
That's actually a hilarious stereotype that I've never like thought about.
Yeah.
But I bet a lot of small towns have like their reality star.
People didn't really like me because I was always bringing in like camera crews and stuff. But the governor really liked me, who was Johnny, because I was bringing revenue to the town by having my show there. Like there was a whole fucking storyline. It was crazy. Crazy.
Who was the murderer?
The waitress in town.
It's always the waitress.
Yeah, it was the waitress.
Stereotypical.
And lastly, I mean, Katie's confessionals were hilarious, and her being like, having sex with men is like charity at this point. Like, I want to see more of that. Like, I want to see their funny side. I loved her and James, which is like so crazy. If you would have went back in time, like to say Katie and James would be like hamming it up in an interview.
I liked seeing that.
Wild.
So wild.
All right, so I think we learned a lot in our first weekly gab, and that is that if we ever think we're gonna just do like a quick gab episode, it's not gonna fucking happen.
We can't do it.
This lasted a bit longer than we thought. We'll probably cut a lot of stuff out, but it's good practice. And again, please, guys, like let us know what you think. Let us know if there's anything we could improve on. If there's anything you loved, if there's anything you didn't really like that much, and
do it with a compliment sandwich. That'd be great.
A compliment sandwich would be great.
A compliment sandwich.
Mine has to be gluten free.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kate Riccio, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night, Los Angeles. Thank you.
I mean, I wasn't joking. I'm taking my gluten freeness very seriously. And as always, thank you for listening. If you haven't subscribed, if you haven't rated, if you haven't liked, if you don't follow us on Instagram, Girls Unscripted Pod, do it and let us know how we're doing. And just as a friendly reminder, my name is Kate.
And again, it's Carolyn.
And this is Girls Unscripted. Thank you so much for watching.
We'll see you over in the Valley.
See you
finale.
The Valley finale. Bye.